Welcome to the introduction to guitar video. I'm Derek Hubbard. I am Mrs. Hubbard's husband, and I will be presenting the introduction to guitar. We're going to talk about the guitar. As you can see, the guitar is made out of wood. Here in the body of the guitar, and along here is what's called the neck of the guitar. It's also made out of wood. And then you'll notice that the guitar has a total of 6 strings, and the strings are made in an acoustic guitar like this. The strings are made out of steel, whereas if you have a classical guitar, the strings are made out of nylon. There is a hole here in the center of the body, and that is what allows us to be able to hear the sound, be able to project out and resonate out. And finally here, where the strings end, is what's called the bridge of the guitar. Now, as I said before, there are 6 total strings for the guitar. Starting at the top of the guitar, they're the thickest, and they are the lowest notes. As you go up the guitar toward the top, we could call this the top of the guitar, and this is the bottom of the neck. It starts at the bottom with the thickest strings, which are the lowest strings, and as we go up the 6 strings, we go up in tone or pitch, and the thickness of the strings begins to get smaller and smaller. Okay? You'll notice that the neck of the guitar is broken up into different sections, which are called frets. And so the very first section is called the 1st fret, then the 2nd fret, and so on and so forth. Now, there are different ways to play the guitar and different techniques in order to get sound out of the guitar. The 2 main techniques are what are called picking, in which my right hand will actually individually pick the notes. The second major technique is what's called strumming, and the strumming usually involves this pick, in which I will create a rhythm with my right hand and strum. So once again, you have the picking motion, individual strings, and then also the strumming action. And that's what's done with my right hand if I'm right-handed. Now, in the left hand, when I'm right-handed, what my left hand will do is it will form, I'll use each of my fingers to form a different position on the neck of the guitar in order to produce a different chord. And a chord is simply a group of notes that sound good together. So this, for example, is the shape of my fingers if I want to play a chord called a D chord. And then if I wanted to change positions, I can change the fingering position to, for example, a G chord. Another example would be to a C chord. And so if my right hand and my left hand work together, my right hand will be, for example, doing the strumming pattern, and then my left hand will be doing the different chord positions. So this is how a simple song might sound. Now, when you play guitar without any of the left-handed strings pushed down, you have a specific pattern that starts in E, and then A, D, and then G, B, and then finally E again. Now you'll notice if the guitar isn't properly tuned, you'll notice each of the 6 strings has its own way to be tuned. For example, the bottom E string, if I twist on this lever here, I can change the tone of the string. And depending on which direction I take it, I can tune it up or tune it down. Okay? And you always, in order for the guitar to sound good when you're making your chords sounds, you want to make sure that it's what's called in tune, and that each of the different strings are tuned to the right tone. What you will notice is when I play a single string openly, for example the bottom E, if I want to go higher in tone or in pitch, I'm going to place my finger further and further up on the fretboard. You'll notice that with each fret, the tone gets 1/2 step higher. Okay? Same on the bottom. Also, there are certain places on the fretboard that are what are called harmonics. And if I slightly touch the string with my left hand, I can get a particular harmonic on the 12th fret, on the 5th fret, and on the 7th fret. And so that's the basic overview of the guitar. So once again, this is the body, this is the neck, this is what's called the head of the guitar. We've got 6 total strings, all made out of steel. My left hand is the primary hand that forms the chords in order to make the specific sounds, where my right hand is the primary hand that either will do the picking motion or the strumming motion. And if it's not in tune, I'll change the specific tension on any one of the 6 strings up on the head.
Thank you.
And that completes our introduction to guitar.